this.
Well, good morning and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is The Country Life, and I had to turn my camera on really fast because he is going to be out of here in a second.
Yep.
And it is actually the first day of cranberry harvest. Come on.
Skipping the waiters today.
It's cold.
It's going to be a hot day. And so I have the troops with me right now, which means we are the ones that are not going to be doing so much in the line of cranberry harvest work, but we are still going to be working, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be wrangling these little kids and making sure that everybody stays safe. So we are on our way. Warren is already raked the ditch edge. So what happens, whoop, kiddos, this way. Grandpa, you're going to walk with us. It's just 2 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe a 5-minute walk. Stay on this side. The ditch edge means...
Where are we going? Are we going this way?
Yep, we're going to be going this way. No, we're not going to use the UTV today. The ditch edge, cranberries grow on a cranberry bed and then goes down to a ditch. The ditch is where is used for drainage. It's also used for filling up and then holding water as well. And cranberries kind of grow over that edge. Well, the tractor with the harrow cannot like curve over that edge, and so Warren always has to do the first round with the ditch edge rake. That's just what he calls it. And so he did that first. And now we're going to pick up pipe. Then he's going to be raking the rest of it. So come along, let's see what the day brings. Just as a little point of reference for those who have been watching our channel for a long time, last year, this is our main reservoir here. It opens up out there. But anyway, last year this was completely down to just mud flats, and Warren actually had to dig further out there. He had to dig like a trench to try to get some of the water to actually flow into this area, because over here is the bulkhead, and so Warren is pulling water, which means he's opened up the bulkhead. There's boards over there that he's pulled out of those grooves right there, and that allows this water to flow in a tube underneath the road over into this ditch. And that's what could not happen last year because the water on this side was so incredibly low that, I mean, the water out there was so low it couldn't even flow into this area, which meant it couldn't even flow into here. And he had to have these boards like pulled way down, just with a ditch dug or a trench to try to get water over to here. Very, very different year. I mean, it's dry right now, and it's projected to be dry for at least this next week. At least that's kind of like the week out forecast. This can just be a stressful time of year anyway, just because everything hinges on this crop, the entire year's income. And also, what makes it stressful is that everybody is in a time crunch during harvest. So, like for example, where we deliver our fruit to, you know, they're saying, okay, we're only open these days, you got to get that fruit in, and you have a breakdown. You know, you don't stock every single part for every single possible breakdown. You just can't. And so, and now with parts being harder to come by, businesses aren't stocking them either. So all of those kinds of things just make it very, very stressful. It is very nice that water is not one of the stressors this year. Right,
Yes,
Joe?
sir. Yeah.
Are you being a good uncle today?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Where are the cranberries? They're down there. Maria will take you down one of the ramps so you can see the cranberries. This ramp here is what we call a fertilizer ramp. This is what Warren uses to drive the four-wheeler down into the bed. You can see the tracks right there. That's how he follows the same path all the time for putting fertilizer on. Sure, pick a cranberry. Do you see them? There's lots of cranberries. They're all red.
Can it go in there?
You can take one step. Take one step. There you go. Now pick a cranberry. There's a really dark one right there. Nice. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is it tasty?
Yeah.
Really?
Tasty.
It's tasty? What do you think, Colt? Take a bite. It's really sour, isn't it?
Sour.
Aisley seems to like it.
Yeah.
She put the whole thing in.
You want another one? It's so sour. Jojo, let me give you a bear.
That is what, like where the kids were just walking down, that is what the cranberry beds look like for pretty much all of the summer. They are just lush and green, and that's it. They're not like floating in water or anything like that. This now is what it looks like when he's bringing up the water, because he has to bring up the water, well, because the cranberries, they actually have 4 air chambers in them, 4 little air pockets, and when you bring the water up, they float. They float upright on their little tiny stem. They have got about a stem that's about a 1 inch long. Sorry, my mouth is watering because I ate Joe's cranberry. Now my mouth is all, it's really watering. So anyway, the cranberries do float upright. You can kind of see how they're, let me zoom in there. You can see how they are. You can really see them. And that's because they're floating up, kind of out of the vines.
Okay.
Colt is telling Grandpa how to do it. He's pretty sure of himself, isn't he? He's really calling Grandpa out here. But yeah, all the pipe comes out, and then he can finish, then he'll continue to rake the rest of the bed. You can see where some fruit has piled up right there. That is from raking the ditch edge. So what you're seeing here now with the water, it is only like this during harvest. This is the only time when the fruit is actually like floating in the water. Warren will flood. There's another time during the year where he, actually a couple other times of the year that he would flood, other than, and that's what this is called. This is flooding the cranberry bed. So another time that he would flood is in the winter. So usually it happens right around Christmas, when we're going to be getting below 0 temps. And then he will flood because throughout the winter the cranberry vines have to be encased in ice, and that
No, the pipe is for water.
the cranberry beds have to be encased in ice, and that protects the vines and protects the bud, because they're already setting next year's bud, which the bud is where the cranberries will grow from. So it's already setting that. So anyway, that has to be protected from wind and cold over the winter. Another time of the year that he would flood would be in the spring. So he would flood at that point. Once all of the ice has melted and he lets that water off, then he could potentially flood again, and that sometimes they call a worm flood, and that is to drown out any worms and like the larvae, to try to keep the worm and pest, and just kind of to keep the pest pressure lowered. And today we have Emily and Peter working together down there, and then Sam is working on his own line, and Warren is working on his own line. And depending on how this goes, I'm going to go down and possibly help Sam. Well, it is just the cutest thing to watch these kids want to help out. Aisley, you've got the strength of a lion. Yeah.
You're darn right.
So the pipe gets brought out, and then it gets
Cool. Fix that
it gets
latch.
hooked up.
Pull it up. Can I
There
put
you
it
go.
down?
It gets hooked up, staked into the edge here, out of the way for all of the equipment and everything. Okay, just a second, Aisley. Just a sec, honey.
Okay.
We gotta lift this one up so it's not in the dirt. Whoops. Sorry. Are you okay, honey?
No cranberries in there.
All right, off they all go. Sam's got his trailer, and I get to keep this little guy with me here today. Emily and her family, they're making a big move today and, well, I guess over the next couple of weeks. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging with the sourdough, so I had gotten my sourdough starter back out a couple of days ago. I got it active again, and yesterday morning I started in on a new method. I will leave a link in the description to the video that I watched. I can't remember what the guy's name is or what his channel is, but anyway, I'm just trying a little bit new method. Now, I feel like this was going to puff up a little bit more, so we'll see how this all turns out. But I do know that I'm supposed to pull this out right now, and it's supposed to like stay. I don't know, I feel like that's going to be kind of sticky. I don't have that fancy razor blade, so I just sharpen this knife, but this does get quite a skin on it. So I'm just going to cut one sort of marking there, and then I'm going to cut a couple little marks like this. I don't know how it's going to look. And I was following his method. I actually don't have a stone, but I do have a cast iron pizza pan. So I put that in the oven. It's been preheating to about 435 degrees for an hour. I'm going to lift this up. I already feel like I'm busting up all of the air. I feel like I'm doing this so wrong. His channel is called Culinary Exploration, and this video has 2.4 million views. How I make sourdough bread every day in less than 30 minutes. Okay, I should have thought through that a little bit, because with that pizza pan, that makes it so, since it has a little edge coming up, it makes that I can't use anything with handles to put over top. I just keep thinking that sourdough is going to be my friend, and it just keeps seeming like it's not. So leave your tips, you guys. Leave your tips. I know there's a lot of you out there that are doing sourdough. Darlene, I know you're making sourdough, so leave me your tips, you guys. How are you making this work efficiently and simply? Well, the sourdough loaf is done. It is out of the oven here. It did do the little crack. I mean, I must not have cut in far enough. And then I did those little cuts up here, and absolutely nothing happened there. So I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about that. But anyway, I mean, it did get big. I was worried that it was just going to be like a short little rock, but it seems to have expanded all right. I think it could have expanded more if I would have cut into this a little further. Unless that's the side I did, I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to let this cool for a little while, and then we'll slice into it.
This is the first bed to go. Bringing the flood up right now so that tomorrow we can start loading semis. So crop looks good. You can see it in the background there. Yeah, crop looks good. The quality looks good. Just take some time to get the water up, so that's what we're doing right now. And tomorrow we're going to pull pipe on the next bed and load some trucks. There you can see the water pouring into the bed, and yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the color for this first bed of the year. This is a younger bed, so naturally the color is a little bit better, but the next bed we're going to get into after this one I think will be a little lighter, just because it has a little heavier crop. We should still make our color minimum, and I want to take them while they're good and firm, because these will be sliced into dried cranberries. So Jennifer told me, oh, I gotta look at the camera here. Okay, take two. Jennifer told me that she needed at least 7 seconds of footage, so I've already gone over 7 seconds, so I think I've done my job.
We just did a leftover supper, basically the same thing we did last night. not basically, exactly what we did last night. So I made new spaghetti, and then we just had the sauce and the cauliflower and the green beans, and here is what's left of the loaf of sourdough. That's it. Just some crumbs. Every time I make a loaf, I think, oh, I don't know, is it going to be good? Are they actually going to like it? Is it going to get eaten? And yes, it does. Everyone said that it was very, very good. And so I thought that that was a good method. So if I want to make another loaf on Monday, it's Saturday night. If I want to make another loaf on Monday, then I would have to feed my sourdough according to that method that I've just been using, or that I just used. I would have to feed it at 9:30 tonight. It would be ready to add all the extra ingredients to it tomorrow morning. I'd have to review what I had, how I did that. It has to like rest for 5 minutes, then you shape it, then I think it has to rest for a certain amount of time, like 10 minutes or something. No, don't shape it yet. You have to stretch it into like a great big circle. Then you do this like fold method that he shows. So you only do one stretch and fold for this particular loaf of bread. So that's that. I don't know. Do I want to make another one on Monday? I'm not really sure. So I have a couple of hours. I have an hour and a half to figure it out. No, I have 2.5 hours to figure it out. Good morning. I'm going to continue this video here for the second day of cranberry harvest, early harvest. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be picking up pipe today or if I'm going to be wrangling grandkids. So I just figured I would get our pizza burgers ready to go. So whenever we eat today, at least it is ready. So I just have 3 pounds of ground beef in here with 1 large onion. Let me pick out that onion skin. I'm going to get this browned up. We're going to add some garlic and oregano and salt and pepper. And I will also add some of the Pertessi seasoning that I like so well. Some tomato soup. Remember, I have that leftover tomato sauce from yesterday, so I will add that in here as well. I'm going to get some cheese shredded up here. Maybe I had some shredded cheese, I'm not sure. Otherwise, I'll shred some up here quick. Once the meat cools a bit, we'll put the cheese in. And then these will be ready for lunch whenever we want to eat today. Actually is going to be shutting sprinklers down shortly. If I pan over here, can you guys see the red? That whole bed over there is completely raked, and equipment is getting in place over there. In a little bit, Warren and Peter are going to be booming that bed, and then later today loading the first of the semi-trailers. Shortly these sprinklers are going to shut down over here, but down here I know it's a little jiggly because maybe I'll just stop. So down here we've got, looks like Emily and Peter working together and Jamie and Sam working together. That's what it looks like to me. So I'm going to help somebody, probably putting pipe together up on the dike here. Well, what's a good word, Peter? There's no good word? Whoa, I better watch out. I'm going to get smacked in the face. So today Peter's like, it is hot enough. I'm just going in shorts, right?
Yep.
Kids are watching a movie.
Okay.
They may come down.
Okay.
But
you don't want it too far because when the water comes up and the dike gets soggy and then it rolls in.
yeah.
But you don't want it too.
So here Warren has water coming into this bed. So as pipe is getting picked up, it's continuing to get deeper and deeper because the goal is it needs to have a raking flood. So there's like a pipe picking flood, and there's a raking flood. Oh, there's a ditch raking flood, and there's a booming flood. And it all has to just be a little different, just a little, each level is its own number of inches of water over top of the berries. So anyway, I'm going to zoom in here because I think this is so pretty. Where you can see all the fruit just floating up. It hasn't been knocked off of the vines yet though. Yeah. We are technically not in need of the big van anymore. We can fit everybody into the car. Well, I guess unless Sam rides with us. But I guess we are in need of it because look at that. Warren's using our van to pull down the, must be all the tubes and everything for the berry cleaner. That just made me laugh. I look over and here he comes with the big van. It's actually the first year that he's ever done that. Normally I think he would pull that trailer. Gosh, what does he normally do? You know, I don't know. I'm just like at a loss right now because he's never done that before. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I got snake feeder. We're gonna start booming this next bed.
Okay.
We gotta get loading before it gets too hot.
It's already pretty warm.
It's very warm. And I can see, actually I should go shut my water off because the water's gonna get too high for
How
me.
do you get that?
Yeah. Oh, the lemonade? Sure. Just a second. I'll get you some. Emily made some chip dip, and this is just cream cheese. So it's like 1, 2, 3. So it's 1 block of cream cheese, 2 beef bouillon cubes, and 3 tablespoons of boiling water. Dissolve the bouillon cubes and stir all of it right into this. We did have to use a little bit of sour cream this time because we didn't have quite a whole block of cream cheese, and we actually like it even better. It's very, very good. It's a little bit thinner, although I would normally just thin it with water if I needed to. But this is just such a good and easy chip dip. You guys have to try it for like football games, that kind of thing. So good. I'm coming down on the marsh to see if there's anything that they need help with because Emily and her whole family, they've gone home now. And I just could not help but notice that there is a lot of changing colors already. I mean, not a lot, you guys. There's going to be a lot more, but it's just so... Sometimes I have to just stop and notice it because harvest time gets so busy and so focused that I just forget to stop and watch the changing colors, which, you know, it's pretty glorious. I see they have the bed boomed, and I hear the berry cleaner, which means they are loading into the semi-trailer, the first trailer of the day, of the year actually. they didn't need my help at all, so I just got some camera footage here and then a bunch of pictures. But they did ask for either some lemonade or water or something like that. So I came back to get some cups and lemonade and water, and back out I go. I'm back at the house now watering. It is such a hot time for cranberry harvest especially. Warren is definitely... There definitely is a little bit of concern because you don't want that fruit sitting in the water for too long, because that water can heat up pretty quickly with this kind of heat. It's 88 degrees in the shade right now, but I'm back at the house here watering flowers because it's 88 degrees and everything is drying out today. Hot day like today, I had to give the chickens some more water, and we're going to give them some more food. Shortening and some butter creaming over here because I'm going to make Reese's Pieces cookies. This was something that I wanted to do yesterday. It didn't happen, but today is a new day. It's 5 after 2. Warren and Sam and Peter are out loading semis right now, and it looks like they're going to load 3 semis today. That is amazing that they are getting that far already here today. Let me show you the recipe in case you want to screenshot it. Reese's Pieces cookies. This is a chocolate cookie with chocolate chips and Reese's Pieces in it, and they're just yummy. Yummy, yummy. We're going to do 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, 2/3 cup of brown sugar, that's a half. I'm still working with the dark brown sugar just because it's open, and before it gets hard I want to use that up. All right, we're just going to scrape the sides here and give it one more good mix before, oh, I'm throwing dough around, before adding in the eggs. I'm going to take a quick minute and get some water boiling. Tomorrow we are going to be having pasta salad, and so since I'm in the kitchen, I am going to get this water going so I can cook up that pasta, and then it will have time to chill and be ready to mix up into the pasta salad tomorrow morning. Eggs in. We'll scrape that down. If anyone has ever tried the KitchenAid mixing paddle like this, but it has like the little rubber edges to it that is supposed to scrape the bowl at the same time, would you let me know in the comments? I have had that in my cart, my Amazon cart for, I don't know, 3 years or something. I just keep, I move, actually it's in the saved section, but anyway, I've just always wondered if it actually works. Two 1/4 cups of flour and 2 2/4. A teaspoon of baking soda, a tiny bit of salt, 1/4 teaspoon. All right, we're gonna get that mixed. Then we'll be adding in some chocolate chips and the Reese's Pieces, which saves just a few. Is that coming in clear, you guys? Which saves just a few to press onto the tops of the cookies. 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. And we're going to do 3/4 cup of the Reese's Pieces, which saves just a few. Is that coming in clear, you guys? Which saves just a few to press onto the tops of the cookies. Just a really quick mix. I don't like to mix that too long because I don't want to smash up the Reese's Pieces. Tomorrow we're also going to be having the Philly cheesesteaks. Remember, I've mentioned to you guys so many times, Peter and I put together the meal plan for this week that we're actually kind of coming to an end on it. 2 more meals left on the plan. Philly cheesesteak, sandwiches in the crock pot, and then taco soup. Those are the last 2 things. And actually I'm going to pull Maria aside today and we are going to make a meal plan. See what kinds of things she wants. It's always interesting to me when I do that to see what exactly each kid requests. They all have their favorites. Just cover that, pop this in the fridge. It's going to be in there for about a half an hour. All right, we're going to get out the crock pot here and fill this with the ingredients for Philly cheesesteak crock pot recipe. This recipe is on page 20 in cookbook number 2. That first recipe, the cookies, is in cookbook 1 on page, what does that say? On page 66. Okay, so for this crock pot recipe for the Philly cheesesteak, I have here an arm roast. Sometimes they will also refer to that as an English roast. And I also have a pack of beef soup bones. They're very meaty. That's why I'm throwing these extra beef soup bones in. Look at how meaty those are. And that is going to add so much flavor. That bone, the marrow, that's going to be delicious. There we go. That is at definitely 3 pounds of meat. Okay, I need 2 cups of beef stock. I really need to make some beef bone broth. I don't have any right now. We're just going to use beef bouillon cubes. And I'm going to do 2 beef bouillon cubes with 2 cups or 1 pint of water, 3 teaspoons of garlic salt. My water is almost boiling over there for the noodles. And we need 2 teaspoons of black pepper. You could use the fresh ground. A lot of times I do, but I want to make sure I get enough in here. And I think sometimes when I grind it, I don't always get enough, because you want this to be very flavorful. I am very, very low on garlic salt as well as black pepper, so I went and wrote those on my grocery list. I like to keep a grocery list handy, and whenever I run out of something, I just add to it, because then when I'm making up a list of like different things I might need, the different things that I need for particular recipes, I already have kind of the list of just the incidentals that we need as well. I need 1 envelope of the dry Italian dressing mix. This is what I always use, Good Seasons. I mean, sometimes I just pick it up at Aldi too, but if I'm at Walmart, I use the Good Seasons Zesty Italian, so I'm gonna get that sprinkled over. Okay, besides some green peppers and onions, this is it. Let me just get the cover on for right now. These are the noodles that I'm going to be using for the pasta salad, and I'm going to cook up the whole box, which is 1 pound. I should point out for you guys that the recipe actually says to slice the meat and like brown it a little bit, if you want to, in a skillet of some kind, like maybe a cast iron or something, and then add that with all of the ingredients to the crock pot. I rarely do it that way, just because I feel like it's just as fine if I just cook the whole roast and then shred it, you know, towards the end. I'll have 3 bones to pull out, and then just shred it at the end. I think it turns out just as well. If I were to happen to buy meat, and I would buy like the already sliced pieces of meat, then I would just do a quick brown of it, because I wouldn't have to take the extra step to cut it. But if I have to take the step to cut it, I usually don't. I just sliced up the green pepper. I'm gonna have to wait on the onion. I will be running to the grocery store tonight. We need to get milk, and we also need to get water bottles, like for the crew for the week. we just want to have enough of them because it is so hot. You guys remember before I said it was like 80 something, 86 or 88 in the shade? It's now 92 in the shade. Let's get these in. This is just going to sit in the refrigerator overnight, and I will pop this into the, I'll turn it on tomorrow on low. It'll cook for about 8 hours. I could do it on high if I want to serve this at lunch. I might do that. Maybe I'll just put it on high, you know. Come back tomorrow and see what I do. The noodles are going to get stored in this big Pyrex bowl. I have a cover for it. I'm going to stick those in the fridge and just let those cool. Tomorrow we will put together the pasta salad. Friday and Saturday, we never did dishes until late Saturday night after church. I think we were starting dishes around like 7 o'clock or something, and there was so many. So today I've been trying to keep up on it. I tell you that because, okay, it's been 35 minutes. I got the dishes done from some of this stuff in the kitchen here right now, and the dough is chilled enough. And now what we're going to do is just put a couple on top of each cookie here, just to make sure that they get a little color. I don't know why I do this to myself. I've already eaten probably 3 cookies worth of dough and a handful of Reese's Pieces. Why? Why do I do this to myself? Because these are so good. I know my family's gonna love them. I'm gonna get the oven preheated to 350. Once it preheats, we'll get those in, and I'm gonna stick this back into the fridge. Joe is collecting laundry for me, so I'm gonna get a load of laundry started now. I've been really trying to keep up on it, just because I know things are going to be, well, they're just always busy, right? It's just always good to keep up on laundry. All right, towel load is basically full.
I can't see.
You can't see?
I can't see.
What are you trying to see?
Yeah.
The computer? Or I mean the camera?
Yeah.
Okay, look in there. Marie is going to be a hunter with us this year. So she is working on the online portion of her hunter safety here this afternoon. How's it going, honey?
Good, I guess.
Good, you guess. I was just getting the cookies put into the cookie jar here, and I realized I never showed you the cookies all finished. So you can see this cookie here. I didn't like kind of press into a nice round shape. Are you okay over there, Joe? I didn't, you know, I kind of formed the edges so it baked up a little bit, you know, just a little crooked. Whereas something like this, I press the edges so it has a nice round shape. Very, very good. And I figured I need to get these in here before they all get eaten. There goes another one. When they sit out on either the cooling racks or some foil. Oh, you came over for one, huh? And it was all, and they were just about gone. All right, well, I'm going to get these up here so that we can have at least a few tomorrow.